Hey guys, it's Jamie here. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time being here, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Today, I want to take you through a portion of my Mary Kay makeup. I'm going to do a full face, but I'm going to break this up into little videos. So we'll start with the face portion where you see me put on my base makeup. So that's what you guys are going to watch today. I hope you enjoy it. If you do enjoy videos like this, please subscribe to my channel below. I'd really appreciate your support. Thank you so much for that. So let's roll into me putting on my face makeup. So with foundation, I actually have two different kinds of foundation. I have the Luminous 3D foundation and I have the CC cream. I'm actually gonna go with the Luminous 3D foundation today. I am gonna put down just a little bit of primer. Once again, primer is like what sets the stage for your makeup. Obviously, that's what priming is. So I just put a little bit. This is, pretty thick stuff. It's creamy. I put just a little bit. I put it in the spots where I feel like my foundation wears off quickly. So for me, my nose, definitely foundation wears off, and like right around maybe like my forehead and right around my mouth and my chin. So this is where I'm really gonna wanna put primer. And just a little bit and rub it in well. And that's it. That's where I put makeup primer. And then this makeup primer also has like SPF in it as well, and like some skincare ingredients. So it's really good for your skin. Then I am gonna move on to the Luminous foundation. And when I use like a heavier foundation, I don't need full coverage on my face. So when I use a heavier foundation, I actually use like a sponge. So this is a beauty blender, and you can pick this up at like Ulta or Sephora. And when you use a sponge like this, definitely wet it. So it's not, it's been wet, but I wrung it out and I dried it off with a towel. So it's wet, so it's bigger, but it's not soaking wet. So then I actually use like one of these palettes. It's a little mirror palette, and I put my foundation on the palette in case like I want to mix foundations or different things, which I do a lot. Okay, so then I mix it up on my palette, but I still apply it with my hands. I just put it on, but I'm gonna blend it out with the sponge, like I said before. So I just put it all on the main places on my face. Get it on there, and then I take my sponge and I begin blending. Now I don't need to put foundation right under my eyes because that's where my concealer is gonna go. Like, what I love about a sponge is it picks up a good amount of product, so your face is left natural looking, and it doesn't leave like streaky marks like a brush would. And of course it's cleaner than using your hands. Now the downside of using a sponge is that it does soak up some of the product. But now when I do my foundation, I do put some down my chin so it looks natural, so there's not like this huge line between where the foundation is and where my real skin begins. And then I also like try to blend it into my ear a little bit. All right, so this was the Luminous one. You can see it left like a little bit of a luminous glow on my face, which I really like. So that is perfect for me. So now moving in to contour. So you can, let's see, I've got the stick contour, so I'll use that. right? And I typically like to do, you know, all my cream powder or all my cream products first, and then I'll move into my powder product. So the next cream product I have is my concealer. So I actually bought the Perfecting Concealer and the Under Eye Corrector. So I have both. They're kind of similar. The Under Eye Corrector is gonna be like a peachy tone that cancels out your purple or black kind of like discoloration. So that is the Under Eye Corrector. And then the Under Eye Concealer is, you know, something just to cover up under your eyes. So you can see it's a lot lighter than the Under Eye Corrector is. So let's go, we go in with the Under Eye Corrector first. And you take this and you want to take it very gently on one of your fingers and tap it in to where you have your dark spots. Anywhere where you have, you know, a good amount of shadow. So that's what you're doing with this. You're canceling out shadow. So I also put it like right here. If you guys can see, it gets dark and kind of purple right there. And this way it kind of makes my eyes a little bit more lifted if you put it there. And then I just take it and I blend it in, and you only need the littlest amount. Since my complexion is a little darker, you can see that I could probably just get away with maybe even wearing the Under Eye Corrector instead of a concealer, but it is still like kind of peachy on me. So I like to put on the concealer, a little bit of the concealer too. So the Perfecting Concealer, I just come in. I love this formula because it's really hydrating, but it's so full coverage. It's awesome. So you can see most of my stuff is already gone, but what I really want to do is just kind of cover up the color, the dark color. So I'm gonna put it where I want the brightness to be. So really just right under here. So you can see, right where it gets dark is where I want to put my concealer. Nowhere else. I just want to brighten up where it gets dark, because you just don't want a lot of products on your face because it just makes it heavier and cakier. And it just makes it look like you're wearing makeup. And I really think, you know, I'm not looking for people to look at me and go, oh my gosh, she's wearing a full face of makeup. I want to look like me, but enhanced, you know? Just a little bit more perfected. So what I do is I put on my concealer like this, blend it in. I haven't put on powder bronzer. I'm gonna put that on in just a minute. Kind of blend it in your cream. That'll go away in just a minute. But what I do is I let my concealer set for a minute. So I'm gonna let it, before I put on setting powder, I'm gonna let it settle a little bit. Then once it starts to set, I'll show you what I do. Because sometimes concealer doesn't even need setting powder, and why would you want to put more powder on your face if it doesn't need it? Now, if it's a formula that's going to move around a lot and it doesn't seem to be setting down, then you will want to use powder. But if it just is something that sets down on its own, you just need like the slightest amount of powder. Less powder, the better, for sure. Okay, so now I have that done, and now I'm ready to go into powder products or begin doing other things. I think because I'm just like letting that concealer set, I'm gonna do my eyebrows really. Okay, for my eyebrows, I have 2 products and 1 tool. So my 2 products are the Precision Brow Liner in Brunette, and then the Volumizing Brow Tint in Brunette. And then I have this tool, which is actually, you know, just a brow brush. So I brush through my brows, and sometimes I have makeup left in there. Brush that out. Then I grab the brow liner, and I'm really gonna concentrate on the bottom of the brow. That's my brows though. My brows, I just want them to look more perfected. They're pretty bushy. You know, I trim them up, but I'm pretty lucky that after all that plucking in the 90s, my hair has grown back, or in the early 2000s, really. Thank goodness. That was scary. So that's all I do. I just fill it in so it looks like a complete brow. And then I do the other one. All right, last product is this brow volumizer, which has like this little brow brush. All right, and just like that, my brows are done. I don't take a long time doing my brows. I know some people do, but I don't. So let's look back at my concealer. So sometimes right under here, there's a couple creases. What I do is just pat those out. And then I give it a little bit longer. We'll see if I really need to set that. That's gonna be the last thing I set if I do. So now I need to set the rest of my face. So I take out my translucent powder. I really like this one. I take out a powder brush of some sort, and once again, I'm gonna use not that much. So I'm gonna put some on my brush, but I'm hitting it off. And then I go in and I'm gonna set. I'm not gonna really set right here because I'm gonna set that with bronzer. So I can just let that go. But I'm gonna set the rest of my face. Okay, and I have two bronzers. I've got this one called Latte and this one I think called Cocoa. I'm gonna go in Latte. That's more my skin color, but I actually could probably just get away with both. So when I begin bronzer, I start from the back and move my way front because I want most of the pigment to be back here. For blush, I have these three here to choose from, and I think, so I am gonna go with Sky Blush today. Okay, so my trick for today is that when you use blush on your cheeks, I just used this color, the Sky Blush. I just put that on my cheeks. When you put blush on your cheeks, you should take a little bit of the same blush color and run it through your eyeshadow. Just take it and just lightly run it through your eyeshadow, maybe just above the crease so you can see it. Both eyes. And then you have a more cohesive looking makeup look. Now my eyes are done. I'm gonna look back at my concealer. There's just a little bit of creasing still happening. Okay, so I know the creasing is still happening, so now it's time at the final stages to put a little bit of powder on it. So I get like a teeny little powder brush like this. And like I said, you just want the smallest amount. So really what I typically do is just go in the cap, dust it off, and go right under my eye with the smallest amount of powder as possible. Well, I hope you guys really enjoyed that face makeup try on. I hope it was helpful at all. If you have any questions about the Mary Kay products, please feel free to contact me. My email address is below. You can always message me, and I really appreciate any question that you have. I'm happy to answer. I really appreciate your comments and your engagement with me. It does a lot for my channel. So thanks so much, and I will see you guys again soon. Bye.